This is the day that the Lord has made. We're getting ready to rejoice and be glad in it. I feel like we got a live studio audience in his house today. I can't say the Oprah show like the RP show, right? Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are coming on, please hit that like button, hit that share button, and do your boy a favor. Tag Lolly Dolly, everybody, and let them know Prophet Ramon, the squad, the live audience are right here on the Ramon Preston Show, live in the Buckhead community of Atlanta. It's a beautiful Thursday. Remember, I told you it's not a throwback Thursday. It's a throw down Thursday. We ain't throwing back. We moving forward. So in order to move forward, we got to throw down. So please, ladies and gentlemen, put in the comments what city you are watching us from. Let your boy know what city you're watching us from. Like, share, tag Lolly Dolly, everybody, because we getting ready to have a great conversation today. And what I want to share with you today is really like a consummation of what we talked about all week. Monday, Tuesday, we talked about working like a laborer, thinking like an investor, how you convert your work like a laborer and your thinking like an investor into your labor like an investor. And then yesterday, we talked about how to utilize team for your success, whether it's your personal success, your business success, or your financial success, even ministry success. How do you utilize team, the acronym of TEAM, in order to create success for your life? Well, if you use the acronym team, we're talking about time into treasures. We're talking about effort into energy. We're talking about attitude into altitude. And we're talking about methods into mechanics. So the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, the first team is actually not a human team. The first team is actually you utilizing time, effort, attitude, and mechanics into treasures until you have the energy and the altitude and the daily mechanics to begin to see momentum take place in your business and in your financial life. So first of all, thank all of you for joining the Ramon Preston Show. We have over 5,300 subscribers on YouTube, and we appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube page, especially the few of y'all over there chilling and hanging out under the shade tree in Facebook, if you don't get your behind over to YouTube, at least to hit the subscribe button, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because we're gonna cut y'all off. We need some activity, we need some engagement. Your questions mean a lot to me, but it means a lot to the community, because people are able to see what exactly are you getting from the content that Prophet Ramon is sharing. We want to know that. So make sure that throughout the course of the show, if you have any questions, drop the questions in the comments. My team, they're gonna be looking in them comments, trying to see if we got haters, or what do you call them, trolls. Because I'm gonna call you out. See, my clapback game is on point. I ain't having it. Like, I'm saved, but I ain't soft. So make sure you monitor them comments, because I will click. I love the Lord, but I do not play the radio. I will clap back at your behind on social media throughout the World Wide Web. So today we're going to be talking about business practices that produce prosperity. Business practices that produce prosperity. I want to show you how you cannot be convoluted. That's a big word, convoluted, in your thinking when it comes to the business practices that you should be implementing and executing in order to create prosperity. Now, I talk a lot about getting the right information. I talk a lot about getting the knowledge, getting the education and the training. But at some point, you got to take that knowledge. You got to take that education. You got to take that information and training. You got to do what? You got to put it to practice. And you have to practice it until you perfect it. And the level of perfecting it is not necessarily meaning that it is squeaky clean. Every I has been dotted, every T has been crossed. When it comes to business particularly, the perfected the perfected level of your practice will result in you actually making money. That's just the truth of it. So if you got all these great ideas, and I ain't throwing no shade, but if you just trying to do everything under the sun and you just feel like, you know what, you the next best thing since business sliced bread, and you have just thought it through. You done prayed about it. You done analyzed it. You've articulated it. You've reworded it. You got everything lined up and you're not making money. That means you have not put the right information to practice. Because you have to be able to look at your business practices and see that your business practices are actually leading you to prosperity, meaning that you're winning in the business game. Now, I'm going to give y'all some statistics before I get into the practices, because hopefully anything that's convoluted in your mind about business, we're going to clear up today. So let me share a few statistics with you. And these are some real statistics, y'all. I mean, these statistics are like game changers. First of all, there are about 31 million small businesses in America, or medium-sized businesses. There are about 31 million businesses. Now, one of the reasons why I think we, and I say we in terms of my company, my organization, and our community, one of the reasons why I think we have the upper hand and leverage in what we're doing in the marketplace is because that number is really not a true number. That number is not a true number, because it really doesn't include businesses in the hood. It doesn't really include, shade tree, under the table, self-employees, independent contractors who just out there hustling every day. That might be 40 million if we had true data. So we're just using this data to give you a general idea of how important it is, because you may have a legitimate entity. You may have some type of form or some type of filing to legitimize and substantiate that you have a business. Well, guess what? If you have a LLC, if you have a S Corp, a C Corp, if you have a legal entity, you, my friend, are one of the 31 million small businesses in the United States of America. Point blank period. I don't care how you slice it and dice it. And guess what? If you shade tree, under the table, winging it as a side hustle, you are still one of maybe the 31 to 40 million small businesses in the United States of America. Now let's keep going, because out of the 31 million small businesses in America, 25 million have one employee. 25 million. That's 8 out of 10. 25 million. I want you to look at these stats before we get into, because everybody's trying to figure out, man, why my business ain't moving, why I'm not growing, why it ain't happening. It's going to come down to your business practices. Remember, I'm talking about business practices for that produce or create prosperity. So we have 31 million small businesses in the United States, right? 21 million have one employee. That's 8 out of 10. Now here's where it gets real good and gushy. 9 out of 10 of these businesses, and this is a game changer, because it really upsets me, because we could do better if we just listen to the right people. 9 out of 10 of these don't even make 100 grand. 9 out of 10. These are statistics. Like, you could Google this stuff. Is that a word? Googleable. It's Googleable. It's Googleable. Here's the last stat I want to give you. Here's the last stat I want to give you. The average small business, 9 out of 10 of them only make 100 grand. The average, meaning that most of these businesses that make less than 100 grand, here's how much they make. About $46,000 before taxes and expenses. Because see, the people who are listening to me, just do the math. Let's do the math. I love my calculator. So the average 31 million small businesses in America, right? 25 million of them only have one employee. So that means 80% of small businesses, 8 out of the 10 people you talk to that say, oh, I got my LLC. Oh yeah, I got a holding company. Oh yeah, I got my S Corp, my C Corp. Oh yeah, I got my Secretary of State. Oh yeah, I got a bank account and a trade line and a U line and a paydex score and all this stuff that means nothing about making money. But my point is, everybody that tells you that they got a business, they're entrepreneurs, here's what I want you to understand. 80% of them, 8 out of 10 of them only have one employee, and it may be the person you're talking to. This is critical. This is critical to the practice in your business. Out of the 25 million, 9 out of 10 of them, 90% of them make less than $100,000. All right? So if you're not making more than $100,000, that means you're in the 25 million percentile, right? But if you're in the 25 million percentile, most likely you're not making 100,000 and you may be averaging 46 grand. Now let's take expenses and taxes out of that. Let's be conservative and say the expenses and taxes are 26,000. So that means you're left with what? 20 grand. Let's divide that into 12. So the truth is the average employee makes about $1,700. The average entrepreneur makes about $1,700 a month. That sounds about right. All you got to do is the math on your business. $1,700 a month divided by 4 is $425 a week. So basically, if we just did real math on 9 out of 10 businesses, hey daughter, how you doing? If you just did the math on 9 out of 10 businesses, let's redo the math so you can catch this. 9 out of 10 businesses in America make about, oh, I can't even spell a dollar sign. Good gracious. Where you at? Need some more alkaline water? How did you get here? They make about $20,000 a year. This would be after taxes and expenses. That means they're making about $17,000 a year, right there, $1,700 a month, and that would be about $425 a week. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs, small business owners in the United States of America. And most are not even bringing in $425 from their business, not from their job, from their business. So if you're not at least seeing $425 a month, $1,700 a week, $17 a month, $20,000 a year, you are 9 out of 10 of the 25 million businesses that can't even break even. This is the reason why 2/3 of businesses fail. So 2 out of 3 businesses fail within the first 5 years of existence. Why do 2 out of 3 businesses fail? Well, most of the time they fail because there is no, I'm giving you like real statistical reasons. There is no demand for their products or services. Right? That's number 1. Number 2, I got to give credit to Brandon Dawson and our rich uncle GC because they talk a lot about these particular statistics. But I just want y'all to see it for yourself. The top 3 reasons why 2/3 of businesses fail within the first 5 years is because, number 1, there is no demand for their products and services. This is going to bring us right into what our conversation is today about business practices that produce prosperity. Number 2 is because they can't find reliable people. And number 3, no financing. I want you to take those stats and really pay attention to them because This is the basis of your business practices that are going to produce. Oh, you got a paper towel that are going to produce prosperity. Okay, so we saw that there are 31 million businesses in the USA, right? There are 25 million businesses, which means 8 out of 10 of the 31 million businesses, they only have one employee. 9 out of 10 of those 25 million make less than 100,000, and most of them, or the overwhelming majority of them, make about 46,000 before taxes and expenses. So if you break it all the way down to the week, this week, 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs, business owners will only make about $425 in their business. This is why they have no business. Or this is why they probably have to have a job. Or this is why they're getting credit card loans and getting in debt and trying to figure out how to get a Uline or a paydex score. They're doing all of that because they're not making enough money. And here's why they end up going out of business. They end up going out of business because, number one, why? There is no demand for their products and services. Number two, they can't find reliable people. Number three, no financing. So here's where the rubber meets the road, because, Ramon, if you're talking about showing me business practices that produce prosperity, well, show me what I need to do. Well, we should be assuming that you're learning the right information. Because if you're learning about business from somebody who hasn't built a successful business, you've already lost. If you're trying to teach yourself about business and you have not succeeded in business, you've already lost. If you listening to coworkers and broke family members and friends, all y'all lost. You get what I'm saying? So number one, we want to assume that you're getting the right data, the right information. You're learning the principles that are going to actually at some point fuel your business practices. So there are certain business principles I have to learn. I keep everything that I'm saying to y'all, I'm not capping, I'm living. Like, I've been a hustler and a go-getter pretty much all my life. But from the time my wife and I got married 18 years ago, all the way to now, we have learned just about everything you can learn from between $0 and $1 million. Right? So there is no way a millionaire is going to tell me how to run a business at this point in my business, because I already know what it takes. So I need to listen to billionaires to tell me, oh, how do you get to 10 million? How do you get to 50 million? How do you get to 100 million? I don't need somebody who's a thousandaire or a six-figure earner to tell me, hey, dog, this how you, come on, dog, I'm telling you now, this the game. No, bro, keep your game. I need somebody to show me how to get to Billy. I don't need somebody to show me Millie. Because really, the Millie ain't really no real money anyway. Once you get there, you realize, shoot, this still ain't nothing. So if a demand of products and services is the number one reason why 2/3 of businesses are going to fail, if not finding reliable people is the second reason why most businesses fail, and no capital, meaning that they ain't making no money, is the third reason, which probably should be the first reason, let's figure out what practices do we need to, number one, eliminate that problem, and number two, start moving our business operations to prosperity. So let's look at the statistics. See, numbers don't lie. What do I tell y'all every day? I get this board out every day for y'all. If y'all ain't using nothing else in this office every day, they using this calculator. Because you can't even talk to me if you don't use the calculator. If they have a conversation with me too long and it's like you done said all that and you ain't pulled out a calculator one time, I know it don't make sense. I know it don't make sense. How many times has somebody presented something to y'all? By the way, y'all, we got a whole classroom here today. I wish I could turn the camera around. We got 3 of our coaching clients here today. They like, we want to come to the live studio audience and watch this thing in person. So have you ever had people to like present proposals or propositions or opportunities to you, and it's just full of papers? It's just full of words, and it really means nothing. But then somebody can come to you and give you, you're in lending, so you know what I'm saying. If they writing all this stuff, when you start underwriting them forms, you passing all, okay, your name is this, your name is that, you're this, you're that, blah, 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 blah. Let's do the math. Because if it doesn't make dollars, it don't make sense. That's a good footnote for y'all to remember before I show you this. If it don't make dollars, but when I say dollars, I'm talking about numbers. This is business practice 101. Everything in your business should be centered around numbers. Not words, not sentences, not statements. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. That's the old adage. But what do you mean by if it don't make dollars? We're not talking about like money. If it doesn't make numbers, if I can't convert that information into mathematics, I can't make sense of it. Don't you know scientifically our brains are wired in a way that they process numbers better than they do data? Make sense? That's why we love doing math more than we like doing language and English and pronunciations. Like, I'm not the best pronunciator, period. But I know that calculator though. I know that calculator. Yesterday we was doing math and you was like, she was sitting there like, wait a minute, hold up. How did you find that? I was like, which way did you go? She was like, I did this. This is the right way. I was like, yeah, but that ain't how I learned it my way. My way is I go the other way. It's kind of like backing into it, reverse engineering the numbers. So you were looking at multiplying the number to get the number. And I was like, well, no, just divide that out of that. And you was like, whatever, just what's the answer? And I didn't even know how to explain it. I just know how to do it on the calculator. So if it don't make dollars, if it don't make numbers, it don't make sense. So let's look at the first. I brought that up to explain to you. If you want to find solutions to problems, find numerical statistics. Find numerical statistics. Sometimes trying to find more information is going to hurt you rather than help you. You need to find statistics. Now I need to figure out what are the numbers in this so that I can know how to create a solution. That's why math is all solution based. Like when you're doing math, it's about what? Solving a problem. So you solve it not with words or data, you solve it with numbers. You figure out what equation brings you to the solution. So when you look at the statistics, what is the first statistic? The first statistic is most businesses that are not making money, that are failing across the board, are failing because there is no demand for their products and services. That's a mathematical statistic. So I don't even have to go no further. I ain't gonna be blaming clients. Oh, they just cheap. They don't want to do no business. Nobody don't want to work. Everybody got no, it ain't. No, the math. There's no demand for my products and services. So if I just start there with that data and I convert it into mathematics, okay, here is why I'm not prospering or creating prosperity in my business, because I haven't figured out. Here's what I want you to write down. I haven't figured out the equation and the practice of the what. That's simple, but it means everything. Prophet Ramon, what do you mean? Here's what I mean. You have to figure out what is your product and service. What are you selling? This is practice. What exactly are you selling? So Prophet Ramon, what are you selling? Well, I'm selling training. I'm selling business and financial training. I'm just giving you an example. Don't go past the what if you don't have the what clear. You got to get this is business practice that will get you to prosperity. What am I selling? Because here I'm gonna share some other things with you on why this what is so important. But I want to give you an example. So Ramon Preston, what are you selling? Oh, I'm selling business and financial training. Oh, okay. So what is it? Okay, well, it's the blueprint game plan. Blueprint, game plan, right? So am I explaining my what? Right? But that's just with information. So how much is it? Oh, it's $1,500 for 1 year access. Is that clear? Is that understandable? You see how clear and understandable? I have figured out the what. Now this what has to be good enough when people start listening to my business and financial training. But I'm not going to know that until I take this what and go into the market and promote. Hey guys, I got the what. Here's what I got. I got business and financial training. It's called the Blueprint Game Plan. It's $1,500 for 1 year. And I got to convince you at some point, or somebody at some point, to give me $1,500 for it. And the more people I can convince to give me $1,500 for it, the more credibility I will have that's going to ultimately give me more leverage in the marketplace. But guess what? My credibility and a lot of other things that I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, like my confidence, my clarity, my commitment, all those things are tied into me knowing what I am actually selling. I have to have this. I have to understand this. Because here's where everybody else is. Here's where everybody else is. This is why I teach that SMS matrix. If you remember, I teach that SMS matrix because the S is structure, the M is marketing, and the S is sales. But when you look under structure, you see filing and forming your LLC. Your marketing kind of touches on your logo, your branding. Everybody gets paralyzed with the S. Some people get paralyzed at the M. Nobody puts the S to practice. The sale. Nobody. Yeah, everybody got good ideas and ain't making no doggone money. I don't listen. It doesn't matter. Like I need to make money. I need to make a sale because the sale, the numerical transaction is what's going to validate my what. Or at least show me how much more I need to overcompensate to make that what worthy. Not the logo, not the color scheme, not the marketing agency, not all this other stuff we deal with. And I appreciate all of you in our community that listen to me about structuring your business and about branding yourself. But ladies and gentlemen, I talked about this Monday in our coaching call. And my topic Monday was sales solves all problems. You have to make a sale. You have to make a sale. And if you're not making sales, or if you don't have the drive to make sales, I guarantee your lack of confidence, your lack of creativity, your lack of eagerness is stemming from that what? It ain't from the information you're getting, by the way. Because that's why people blame their coach, they blame their consultant, they blame the marketer, they blame everybody. The financer, they blame their assistant, they blame their old lady, 3 exes ago, they haters. They blame everybody except, you know what? I just don't know what I have. I have not taken enough time, or maybe I've taken too much time. Maybe I just need, listen, and I say this, when me and my wife decided to start a business, understand that I had none of what I'm talking about. I have none of this. I had to find my what. And get that green bag for me. That green bag over there. I keep this bag. I gave everything else away. I know that, but just get here, girl. I keep this for a reason, because I keep it in my office, not just to put up. It's just a reminder. It's just like an heirloom. I used to have way more than this. I used to have all kind of equipment. I used to have circular saws. I used to have, this is just like my Ryobi toolbox. But I'm just showing you, this was just I didn't even understand business practices. I didn't understand economic principles. But I understood that in order for me to survive and eat today, I had to take something, a what, go out there and sell it to make some money. And so 18 years ago, my wife and I got married. I didn't have a business. I didn't have an LLC. I didn't know nothing about tax strategies. But you know what I did have? I had the ability to get a hammer. I knew how to put some drywall up. I knew how to change toilets. I knew my way around the house. I knew about studs. I knew about subfloors. I knew about attics. I knew about Berber carpet. I could put tile down. I could take tile up. I could put windows in. I could build a house. I knew how to do that. And my wife had a real estate license. So guess what we did? We took the what? We're a two-person team. So everywhere we showed up, here's how the whole consultant thing started for me. So it can sound real bougie and sophisticated. So, because some people look at you and watch you and be like, oh my God, see, if I was where you was, I had a hammer 18 years ago. But I was willing to show up with my wife when somebody wanted to rent a house. We knew it was going to get a $200 commission, but I'll show up and be like, who the owner? Yeah, they need a little work over here. Yeah, you see that there's a little leak up there. And so if you just take that out and I start getting them the game. And by the way, while we're here, you know, we can resurface those cabinets. We can put some hardware on it. We can upgrade and put some brushed nickel in here. You can go up to $300. I tell you what, won't you do that? See, the maintenance man got a job. How much is it going to cost? I'll just throw a number out there. It'll be about $1,500. Because I had rent that month. It was $1,500 rent. So I was like, hey, it's $1,500. But I had to do what I had to do. But I overcompensated. I probably did $3,000 worth of work. But guess what that person did? Had somebody else call. Hey, Ramon. Hey, Prophet. We heard that you can, yeah, I do all that. Well, you know, it's a leak under the house in the crawl space. Nobody wants to go down there. Shoot, you got some money? I'll go down that crawl space. Matter of fact, I will babysit your dog. I will clean your windows. I will clean your bathtub and fix the crawl space if you hire me. But I knew what I had. I took what I knew I could do. I knew I could go into the marketplace with a hammer, with some nails, with some screws, with a saw, and I can go figure out a way to go make some money. So if you're stuck still trying to figure out the what, maybe the what you have is the wrong what. Because there's no demand for your product and service. This is the number one reason why businesses fail. Nobody wants what you want to give them. Oh, but this is my passion. You know, church folk, this is my anointing. Man, it wasn't no anointing in me sitting in attics for hours upon hours of a day, putting insulation up and my God, like you have no idea the stuff I did. And I was starting a church. She'll tell you, my personal sister will tell you, I'd be out there like 12, 13 hours. My sister was with me. I made her the project manager. I just gave her a glorified position to feel good about doing nothing and making no money doing it. I mean, doing everything and making no money doing it. She was around here like, I'm the project manager, getting like $100 a week. Every Friday, here go 100. I got you, boo. Just the next deal is going to be the big deal. I'm telling y'all. So you see what I mean right here? The what? The what? So don't focus so much on the who and the how. You see what I mean? Because remember, if you look at the what is about you taking a product or service, or let me put it back to the SMS matrix. You taking an idea and converting that idea into a product and service. So here's what the new big is, if I'm making sense. The new big is speed. Speed is the new big. So all of you CEOs, here's what you got to do. You got to go from idea to product to market with the price as soon as you possibly can. The quicker you can do that, the better off your business is going to be. So if you're paralyzed in the idea phase or the product phase, that's the what. Don't get down here with the who and the how, because this is what a lot of entrepreneurs want to do. A lot of entrepreneurs want to focus on the who. Well, who can I hire? You can't afford to hire nobody. You haven't even hired yourself yet. So there was a time I was everything. I was the CEO, the CSO, the CMO, the CFO, and the COO. And everybody that works with me today will tell you he still plays a role in all 5 anyway. And he'll be the janitor too if he has to. And he knows how to do everything. He knows how to do the accounting. He knows how to do the operations. May not know everything about it. He knows about marketing enough. He knows about sales enough. He knows about being an executive enough. He understands what his role is, but he understands what everybody else's role is, because there was a time I was so focused on selling the what, I didn't even have time to think about the who. And I wasn't studying the how. Well, I got to get, I just got to get the right office space. And, if I just get a plaza, if I just get you're wasting so much time on the how and the who. You need to go make money on the what. If you cannot sell the what, who and how ain't going to change it. This is why most businesses fail. This is how most businesses fail.
Fact.
Yeah.
Big fact.
Yeah. And guess what? I was on the live Monday when we were fleshing out our licensee program and our business certification program. I got the what. So I got confidence in the what. I know what I'm capable of doing, but I didn't have the who and how. But I showed enough announced it. They didn't even know I was going to announce it. Matter of fact, I announced it this weekend. I did it deliberately when they were off. So she was like, now what are you doing with all these emails going out? I'm like, don't worry about it. We got this. But my point is, we had people that were calling, responding, saying, oh my God, this is what we want to be a part of. You know why? Because I'm going from idea to product to market. I already know I'm going to overcompensate. It doesn't matter. Even if I lose on the deal. What I'm not going to do is wait. Well, first of all, you've already lost. You're in a market, and most of us right now in the faith community, we are in a climate where you cannot afford to take principle and prioritize principle over practice. You have to be the loudest one. You have to be the most aggressive one. Let me give you some other words for it so you can understand. I hope that made sense. So, if you're having a problem with this, what time is it? Oh, do we have any questions? Okay. If you have any questions so far, just put the questions in the comments. I just want to show you the evolution and where some people struggle. Why some people struggle. I'm going to get that Google board when I come back from vacation.
I told you.
Because I'm sick of it. I'm going to get it. It's $5,000. I'm going to take it out of her pay. I'm taking it out of her pay. Right? So here's the issue. Here's the issue. The issue is most of the 25 million people, remember that, who are business owners, who are considered business owners, most of them either come from this level of work or most of them are still in that level of work. Does that make sense? I want you to make sense of what I'm saying, because I have some other words that are more principle words that will help you understand your practice. Most people who are stuck getting the what out or formulating the what or making sense of the what, and they think the who and the how and all the other things are gonna change their business. They're either employees or they come from being an employee and they never got new information as business owners. So they do not understand. And I say this all the time to business owners. I remind my team of that. Being a business owner, I just told a young man this Sunday when he told me his idea, I was like, number one, the idea is not going to work. It's not going to make you no money. Because you can't build a business model around something. You're not the dollar store. Yeah, somebody had an idea to open an online store. I was like, you're not gonna make no money. You're not making no money. I run ads. I'm on social media all the time. I got a big following, and guess what? I don't make money on my online store. By the way, boom, bada bing, bada boom. But it's just for me to feel good about myself. It's a promotional item. This is not a business model. Oh, if I sell 1,000 of these, that'll be $39,000. You're in la la land. You're thinking like an employee. You don't understand business. You're not Zales. You're not the dollar store. You're not Kroger. You can't mass market this stuff enough. The logistics are going to kill you. It sounds good in theory. Or you heard some internet guru, oh, we can automate your business and in 90 days you'll be making 6 figures. No, they're going to make 6 figures off telling you that they can show you how to do what they didn't do. They're just in the business of telling you you should do this. Come on. So when you come from the employee world, most of the time, I want you to catch this because we're talking about business practices that produce what? Prosperity. When you come from an employee world and an employee mindset, most of the time, your business, you build a business around your hobby, what you just good at. You like to do it. That's not a business model. That's a hobby that you have turned into a good idea on paper and you're calling it a business. So when you are an employee, most of the time you go from employee to hobbyist. At best, we're talking about stats. 9 out of 10 business owners, at best, either they're still employees who are hobbyists and they call it a business, or they're employees or former employees who are no longer hobbyists, but they're side hustlers. They're side hustlers. So that means if you are a side hustler, you have options. So when I talk to somebody who has a side hustle, but they have other options, I already know they don't have that in them to make a sale today. Because making a sale today is not going to determine their fate. Y'all get what I'm saying? It doesn't determine their fate. See, when I wake up in the morning, I'm finna go, I got to make a sale because I got to eat. I got so much on the line and so many people on the line. This is my job, this is my life. So I'm not a side hustler. I don't have other options. So the first practice for you in business is to not necessarily end your employment, but to get rid of the things that are really hobbies, but are not sustainable business models. So for example, we have employees here, but how do we incentivize employees to think like business owners so that they can say what? Thank you. She just said it. So they get paid for a certain job. So they have a certain role that they play as an employee, but now they need some wins. They need a way to be able to say, okay, this might be as much as I can make as an employee, which is true. Because you're not going to make $10 million as an employee. But if you have an opportunity to be incentivized with a commission, guess what your commission is going to be dependent on? What's the word? Sales. It goes back to the what. But if I don't have a what for them to sell, they will remain employees, and at some point they'll give out on that. Yeah, that's it. I'm looking for something better. Because what you have is not enough for me to fulfill my dreams. And so for those of you that want to implement business practices that produce prosperity, if you are an employee currently, you have to get rid of the hobby. If you're not an employee, if you're just straight business owner, make sure what you are putting into the marketplace is not a hobby. It's not something that you just got a passion for, you just love to do, but it ain't generating no income. Like, you got to get out of that. You got to figure out where I can fit into the marketplace to generate money to sustain what I want to do. And so when you get past the side hustler phase, you enter the entrepreneur phase. A lot of business owners don't know what being an entrepreneur is. Entrepreneurship, I'm gonna give you one key word for what entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship is all about exchanges. I mean, I teach that in that blueprint. It's all about exchanges. It's everything about entrepreneurship is exchange. And most business owners are not entrepreneurs. So your business practice is, if I'm going to be a business owner, I either have to learn to be an entrepreneur or learn entrepreneurship, or I'm going to have to bring an entrepreneur on board as a partner or to go in with me on what I'm doing. I have to bring someone who has an exchange mindset. Someone who's not scared to get in front of a camera or wake up and get in front of the market and say, somebody got to make an exchange with me for my idea and your money. Somebody has to do it, because I can't breathe without it. Somebody's got to do that for me today. Who's going to do it for me today? That's an entrepreneur. When you package that entrepreneur or that entrepreneurship with a structure called a business, and you add systems to it, now you're able to start the scaling process. But it begins with you thinking and operating as an entrepreneur and learning it. Because guess what? I said this the other day. Money, entrepreneurship, and business ownership are all skill sets. It's money is a skill set. So if it's a skill set, that means what? You can actually learn it. So if you go to like a technical school, what kind of technical schools they have? Like electricity, HVAC, plumbing, driving. That's a certification. So when you go to these types of schools to get these licenses and these certifications, they don't just give you a whole lot of paper. They actually put you to practice. Make sure you drive this big old thing now. And don't be going burning up people's house with electrical issues because you didn't practice it. So you got information, but you had to put the information in practice. This is why people who got technical degrees or licenses like that in those fields, they make more money than people that I know that got master's degrees. Because the master's degrees, you just got a whole lot of education and papers on the wall, making you look like you important, but you're not practicing what you even know. The average person who has a degree are not even in their industry. Statistics show that. Go back to the numbers. The statistics show the average person, they are not even working in the field that they got informed or educated in, but they didn't have practice. So that's why your practice has to be the result of you having developed a skill set about money, a skill set about business, a skill set about entrepreneurship. So here are a few things I want you to think about. I talked about it yesterday a little bit. So I want to just kind of like draw a line in the sand. And I'm going to give you some words you need to start using. Commitment, courage, confidence, creativity. On the other side, you got confusion, you got complacency, you got contraction, and then you got clutter. And the average business owner, the 25 million business owners that are in the United States of America today, ladies and gentlemen, they are on the wrong side of that board. They're on the wrong side of that board. You know why they don't have commitment? You know why they don't have commitment? Because they don't know what to commit to. They don't know what to commit to. See, I told this to my wife 19 years ago when we met. We got married 18 years ago. So for 14 months, we were preparing to get married. I told her this from the jump. And some of you need to get a revelation of this. I told my wife from the jump, what I'm not going to give up on is what I want to do in my life and what I want to be. My dreams, my aspirations, my ambitions. And I'm not going to hold you accountable because you don't have mine. I would need your support, but I don't need you to be another version of me. because you're not going to move at my pace. You're not going to have the passion I have. We're not going to be around here arguing every day. Well, you don't think like I think. You don't supposed to think like I think. These are my dreams. These are my desires. These are my fantasies. This is what she doesn't want a jet. She'll fly on it when I get it, but she don't need it to be her. But I told her before we got married, I'm not going to be working in the system. I'm not doing it. I would rather, this she'll tell you, I said exactly these words. I would rather wake up every day and go pick cans to make enough money to pay our bills every day than to go out there and be enslaved to a system that I know is perpetuating something that doesn't fit my dreams and my desires. And guess what she said? Hey, baby, whatever works for you, just make sure when you get your behind out there every day that you come home like a lion with something for us to eat. So guess what? I had to work odd jobs. I had to go out there and hustle every day for $100 here, $100 there. I had to get $80 here. She'd be still laughing at me because I used to go to the state building. I was selling jewelry, like costume jewelry. It was a side hustle. Somebody said, hey, I need somebody to sell jewelry. I was like, hey, where you want me to show up at? I realized when I showed up at these state buildings on the 15th and the 30th, they just wanted to spend their money. And I was high yellow, looking good. They was like, come on over here, girl. Come here. Let me see. Ooh, let me, girl, you better look at this. Come here now. Your old man gonna love this. Shoot, I needed that money. As long as I sold a certain amount of jewelry, every certain amount of jewelry I sold, the girl said, I'll give you $100. I was like, shoot, I done already paid my rent with that money. I done already paid the car note. I already had in my mind, oh, somebody finna buy something today. You finna buy some amber today. Everybody was in there with amber, and I knew nothing about amber other than what was on the tag. This here girl, I'm telling you, but I was committed. I wasn't confused about, man, should I just go get a job, man? Should I? You're confused. That's why your business is not moving. And if you are an employee, as I said, that needs to be the fuel to get you committed to what you need to do. And if it burns you out, it need to burn you out because you need to put yourself in a position. I think I said this Monday on the coaching call. Every entrepreneur should go get their business checkbook and write themselves a check to the business, to the CEO, for at least $1 million and use it as a point of contact, as a reference point to show you that it's a shame for you to own a business and not be committed enough to that business as if that business wants to hire you to be the CEO. Because if JP Morgan called your behind and said, oh, we want to hire you to be the CEO. We want you to be the brand ambassador. Would you be Mr. JP Morgan for us? We'll give you $10 million right now and give you $1 million every year and $1 million more every time you do A, B, C, D, and E. Guess what? The next day I see you, you'll be Mr. JP Morgan, Miss JP Morgan. You'll be wearing JP Morgan shirts. Everything on your lives and on your social media account gonna be, I'm Mr. Mrs. JP Morgan. I told them Monday I would go to the courthouse and change my name. I tell all y'all in here, I'm fired. Y'all can have this. My name is no longer Ramon Preston. I am officially Mr. JP Morgan. That's my rich uncle. Shoot. So why we won't do it for our own businesses? Your business wants to hire you as the CEO. Get committed. Get committed. Get committed. You should be committed. What is my first practice of commitment? Go sell something. Go sell something today. And guess what? I told you, man, I told them coaching clients Monday. I said, you should punish yourself. Here's how you punish yourself with commitment. Every day you wake up and don't sell something in your business, sell something in your life. Oh, I ain't got nothing else to sell but that rank. Sell it. I bet you'll wake up tomorrow with some creativity. Now tomorrow you ain't sold nothing in your business. Go sell your TV. Sell your drawers. Sell your closet. Just get in the habit and the practice of selling stuff and put yourself in a place of accountability to say, my business told me if I'm going to remain the CEO of that company, I have to sell something every day to bring in money. Even if that means I got to sell stuff that's in my own house. Otherwise, your business should fire you. Because if you were working for any other company, some of you listening to me, they'd have been fired you. Yeah, because you ain't making no money. You got all these great ideas. You always working on something, but you ain't making no money. I'm just the one to tell you the truth. This is why 2/3 of businesses are failing. And then on top of that, we're in a pandemic. See, here's what happens. When you're not committed, this is what you are. You're confused. There's no middle ground. It ain't, well, I'm committed, but it's just that you're confused. When we talk in here, just on regular talk, if we bring up an issue and you say, well, the moment you get ready, what am I going to do?
Excuse.
Hope, nope. Walk outside, come back in. It ain't no excuse.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as you can't. You can't. Yeah. Yeah, but I understand because you come from that world. So it's like, well, I can't. Did you just use the word can't? Imagine me walking in here saying, well, I want to pay y'all today. I know I owe y'all, but come on, it's lame. You're not committed. You're not committed. See, my commitment is big. Guess what I did? I came here today. I'm like, I know y'all supposed to get paid on the 15th, but I'm going to pay y'all tonight because next week I don't want you bothering me when I'm out of town. Because I'm committed. And I'm not committed to them as much as I'm committed to my dreams, to my desires. But I know in order for me to get there, I have to have a business that's actually generating revenue and creating prosperity through certain practices that I refuse to not implement and execute every day of my life. Otherwise, I'm going to be by default confused. Your commitment creates courage. You cannot have courage if you ain't got commitment. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't care where I go. I be telling that to people because some people be like, wow, how do you like just jump in a room and just like swallow all the air up and stuff like that? It's like, I'm just committed because I don't see who or what's in the room. I'm seeing that jet, my grandkids praising me, my family never wanting for nothing, my wife giving me all the kudos because I did it for our people. That's what I see. So when I'm in that room and everybody's side-eyeing me, hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Ramon Preston, blah, 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 blah. All right, have an amazing day. It doesn't matter to me. I'm trying to get to that jet. I'm trying to get to that billion. I'm not thinking about, I'm committed. So my commitment creates courage. When you're confused, guess what it creates? Complacency. Well, you know what? If I just grow by 10%, if I just generate at least $100, you're complacent. Because you're not going to change the world with 10%. You know that. If you're looking to get your business to a place of prosperity, have a dream big enough to put you there. Have a dream big enough. What did I just tell y'all Monday? I said we're getting ready to launch 3 new programs. So whatever your goals were, whatever your financial goals were, get them out your mind. Your minimum should be $1 million a year that you should be making and generating so that you'll be well into 6-figure earnings. You shouldn't think nothing else. Otherwise, I'm defeating the purpose of where I'm trying to go. Because now I got small thinkers around me and I'm out here talking about, we finna take over the world. And everybody like, yeah, but I'm just stay here in the office. No, you finna take over the world. We finna help a lot of people. It's called complacency. And your courage creates, guess what? Confidence. Because now my courage makes me show up. It makes me show up. I don't care about a lot of the mechanics of what I do because I know if you give me an opportunity, like you coaching clients, everybody that comes around us, whether it's real estate or anything, even ministry, I was the same way when I was pastoring. I'm like this here. I'm committed. So I'm going to have the courage to show up. And I got the confidence to know even if I don't have it today, as long as we stick with each other, we're going to figure it out. You get what I'm saying? I appreciate what you were saying. Brother Rubino was saying earlier, he was like, listen, I'm going to have this conversation. And once I had this conversation, if they ain't talking right, he was like, he finna be on the phone saying, Apostle, check this out. But that's confidence in somebody who got confidence to know that, hey, you good, because we getting where we going. Nothing is going to stop us from getting where we going. So we're committed, we got courage, we got confidence. Confusion, complacency creates what? Contraction. This where most of America is right now. That's why I said that Monday. And I was kind of throwing a little shade. Because statistics, we go back to the numbers. Statistics show Statistics show, people who don't know numbers don't get it. Statistics show that 8 out of 10 Americans don't have $500 saved. 80% of Americans, 8 out of 10 people, adults who live in the United States of America, don't have $500, probably don't have nowhere near 1,000, but let's just say 500, okay? If some have 500, most of them probably don't have at least 1,000, all right? 80% of Americans, and this same 80% of Americans, whether they own businesses or work jobs, they don't have at least $1,000, and they live paycheck to paycheck, and they're not prepared for any unforeseen emergency, but took Monday off. Stupid. You're the problem. But I was in here Monday and don't need to be here. I mean, for what? To each his own. And I'm not saying, because me and my wife were talking about that the other day, she was like, well, a lot of people work from home. I was like, yeah, but it's not like they were banging out making sales. Like if you working from home, show the ledger that you're making sales, you're creating new money, and you're not just finessing yourself out of an opportunity to really see prosperity in your business. Because if 80% of Americans, 8 out of 10 people, live paycheck to paycheck, don't even have $1,000 for an emergency, I don't have a day off. I can't take a day off like that. Because I got too many people that depend on me. It's like, nah, I'll wait till I'm better off. I'm like, nah, because I'm going to be even worse and feel worse about my life knowing that I didn't even move the needle forward. And to each his own. So your confidence brings you to what? Creativity. Then you get creative. Contraction brings you to clutter. So now we have a whole lot of people today, because they're contracting. Oh, well, we just going to wait till the pandemic blow over. We just gonna wait until, everything just subsides. This is the time to go all in. This is the time to go all in. All of you need to go all in. If you got stocks and bonds, did y'all just hear the report? I'm getting ready to end this. Did y'all just hear the report last week? There was a report that came out that said because of the pandemic and because of the negative economic ramifications that took place, it's more than likely that, I think they said by 2052, we're talking about like 30 years from now, which we already knew that, but they just kind of like starting to make it official, that Social Security will be bankrupt. So, but they're still taking out everybody's check, right? But it's going to be bankrupt. Okay, so here's what the next announcement. So we got Social Security. Okay, that's gone. Social Security, that's about gone. Okay, and then even if it is there, I don't know a person who got rich off Social Security. Everybody I know that live off Social Security is struggling. Period. They ain't got nothing because it ain't enough. And this is their future. This is their current quality of life. But when they were at work stages or business stages, it was their future quality of life. And so because they didn't have the right practices in that current state of their life, they didn't think about what to do to make sure that their future quality of life was better. It's called financial planning, but you can't plan if you don't have practice, if you're not doing something every day. Okay? So now guess what's going to end up coming out? A lot of these pension plans and 401k retirements and ABC retirements and H23s and all that. You know what? We're going to have to re-diversify. When people like Ramon been saying, if you don't get your doggone money, if you're going to be a business owner and put it in your business and back your money with your confidence, with your commitment, with your courage, with your creativity. So I don't invest in none of that stuff because I'm like, I'm a true investment. I know I'm a win. So I'm going to put it in me. And I've done this for a lot of business owners who had money from jobs in stuff. And I'm like, do you know how much you got? I don't know. I remember one gentleman, this was years ago, about 2 or 3 years ago, I talked with him. And he said he wanted me to invest in his business. And I was like, well, let's sit down. I do the same thing. I go over the same. Let's do the math. Let's look at every area in your life. And then all of a sudden, that was one of the questions I brought up. So when you did work, they was like, I worked 30 years. And I was like, my God, I couldn't imagine doing any one thing for 30 years. Jesus. Whew. Like, wow. Like me and my wife, we get to 30 years, we'll have to switch names just to feel different. Like, can we just rename ourselves for a year or two, boo? Like something. And he was like, yeah, I work. I said, so who you work for? I'm just pricking. I'm just fact finding, right? And he was like, I work for ABC company, ABC. I was like, so did they take out like 401ks? Or he was like, yeah, I think they did. I was like, so whatever happened to it? Oh, I don't know. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, well, you need to call the administrator, blah, 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 blah. Like 2 days later, he called me. Oh my God. I was like, what happened, man? He was like, man, I got like $60,000 sitting there waiting for me. I was like, so did you ask them the second question? The first question was, do I have something? The next question is, how much would I be penalized if I cashed out, took it all, and what would that number be? He was like, man, they gonna give me like 48 grand. It was like 38,000 maybe. It might have been like a 20% penalty or something, but it was like 38 grand. I was like, so what did you tell him? He was like, man, I told him to send me my check. I was like, got it. He was in business. He had money for his business because he wanted to start his business. He wanted to do his business for like 10 years and then retire in 10 years or whatever. But I was like, you're not gonna live off 60 grand. Even if 60 grand gives you, which it ain't gonna give you 10% pre-tax, that's $6,000 a year. What you finna do with 6 grand a year other than be upset and go rob somebody? All right, ladies and gentlemen, so for those of you that are watching me, if you are not a part of our 1-year business coaching program, you already know what you need to do. You need to text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. I want to help you start and structure your business. That's one of the S's in our SMS matrix. Like my job is to help you start it properly so you could do it right the first time. Okay, I teach the holding company concept, of course. So I want to make sure that you have that box checked. But we also want to make sure that you're structuring your business right, meaning that you have the proper systems and processes. So when I say systems and processes, here's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about marketing systems, that's the M. So we want to make sure that when you start and structure your holding company, your divisions or your subsidiaries, that you have the right marketing system and the objective correct in terms of how are you branding your business? Are you the brand ambassador? Or do you need one? We have to make sure we check that box so that you can properly position yourself in the market. But this is a matrix, so we don't do all this and miss the last S. The last S is probably the most important S, but as a consultant, I wouldn't be correct to put it first. The last S is sales. Another word for sales is profit. Another word for profit is revenue. Another business term for revenue is exchanges. So while we do all the other S and the other M, we got to get you here as quick as possible. And the only way we can get you here is by, number one, identifying with your ideas. Like, what are your ideas? Can those ideas be converted into products or services? And if they can, what is the dollar amount that we can price them so that we can introduce them to the market so you can make a sale? These are practices for your business. If you just did what I just simplified in 1 or 2 boards, you're going to be able to see prosperity in your business. If you don't understand these concepts, these principles, so that you can put them to practice, it's because you do not have the right information. It's because you're not in the right ecosystem. And it's because you don't have people like us supporting you to help sustain what you want to put to practice. So I want you to text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. That's 404-478-7213. If you are serious, I'm not using the word interested no more. If you are serious about becoming a professional business consultant and coach, and you feel like you need a better system, a better process, a better system, a better process for consulting and coaching. We just launched. We're in the pre-launch stage, but it's official. we just launched our business certification program for consultants and coaches. And what we're going to be doing in this program is, first of all, when you sign up, we're going to onboard you, we're going to orientate you, and we're going to prep you up to train you. And the training is going to be all centered around showing you our system and our process for consulting and coaching. So we're going to give you the RP way of consulting and coaching. So you can either take that training that you get and add it to your current consulting and coaching for businesses or for entrepreneurs or organizations, or you can just actually make it your primary business. So you might be in a different field of consulting or coaching. So we want to just solidify that. We've had a lot of clients, a lot of members in our business community who have received certifications for coaching and for consulting, and have been in a lot of circles and have received a lot of training, but it wasn't necessarily on the practices, like on the systematic practices, on the process practices. How do I actually consult someone from A to Z so that we can get results, and so that this can be a legitimate product I take to the market and someone buys it? Because a lot of consultants and coaches, they're hitting that brick wall of not getting the deals, not getting the clients, because we have so many options as clients. We have options for consultants and coaches. And if you're just like a part of and I say this like not disrespectfully, but if you're part of like a diploma meal or certificate meal, these are just meals, like companies that just spit out degrees and certifications and all these types of accolades, and they're not backed with not just principles but practices, systems and process that actually work, that you can have the confidence for. Most likely you don't have a product that actually reflects what you've been trained. So that business certification program is for those of you that really want to become professionals. You want it to be a part of your career. Now, if you would like to make that a business and you just don't have the proprietary products and services, curriculum, material, we also launched our RP licensing program. And what our licensing program is doing is basically giving you all the information we have. So you can literally sell our blueprint game plan. You can sell the content and the curriculum on Ramon Preston University. You could sell our coaching program. You can sell our consulting services. You can literally copy and paste everything that we have as proprietary systems, processes, our workshops, our masterminds, our boot camps. We're in the process of launching our School of Ministry, our School of Prophets, and both of those programs are going to be backed with certifications. We're going to have a master certification program for our School of Prophets and Prophetic Ministries, and we're going to have our minister certification. So you're basically going to have access to the whole Ramon Preston University library. And it's going to be just as simple as, let's say you want to start a boot camp, you want to host a boot camp, you want to host a mastermind or a workshop, where you can actually just go to Ramon Preston University, and you'll be able to just download the workbook, and you're either going to repurpose it for your business, or you're just going to use it the way it is and have access and authorization to do it. So if you're interested in that, I want you to go to Ramon Preston, what is it? Preston.com//certify. Certify. And that, as I said, I'm talking to people who are serious. I'm not talking to people who are interested. So you got to be serious enough to understand what you want to do and what we're doing and how it works. And so for a lot of people who want to just be professional business consultants and coaches, to either use it as an addition to their companies or to use it as the main product and service of their company, that service, that certification would work. But then there are people who literally just want to buy a business of consulting, coaching, and training. So that licensing is actually giving you access and authority to buy a business. So you have to look at the return on your investment when you buy that. Also, we're in the process of accepting I'm sorry, what is it? I want to say referrals. It's not referrals. It's, man, y'all working me today. What is it? Huh? Resumes. Oh, where my coffee at? Shoot, I need some alkaline water. We are accepting resumes and videos. We're looking to hire part-timers, full-timers. We're looking for some interns. Of course, we're looking for people who want to be certified by us, licensed by us as trainers and as consultants and coaches. We're looking for partners, people who want to form partnerships, acquisitions, whether it's real estate. If it's real estate, it has to be commercial real estate, just in case you are in the commercial real estate field and you're looking to sell commercial real estate. We're looking for acquisition opportunities and even partnership opportunities. I ain't even gonna say nothing about what I got going on behind the scenes. Just know we're looking for people who want to be a part of what we're working on doing, and we're expanding. And so you could send your resume, and we're asking for you to send a video. So let me say it again. If you send a resume and you don't send a video, you're going to get an email back from our back office asking you to send a video, because we want your video to show your personality. We want your video to give us an idea of what exactly are you saying. You know, I love resumes, but I don't trust them. Yeah, because everybody cap on resumes. If you don't know what cap mean, maybe you ain't from the hood. Cap mean lie. Everybody lie on the resume. I used to do this. I used to do that. I used to lie on my resume when I was trying to hire for a job. Oh, I assumed an executive role. I worked for the chief operations officer. We processed data in an intellectual way. And it was like, boy, you just took trash out. Come on. That's what you did. You know you wasn't doing all that. And then when you show, you know what I'm saying? So you got to show some personality, and you got to sell yourself. I'm not looking for a job. You're looking for a job. And I say that respectfully, because a lot of people, they don't sell themselves. You have to sell yourself. So send your resume and your video to careers@ramonpreston.com. All right. I love y'all. Hope y'all have an amazing Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on the Ramon Preston Show.